Hello everybody and welcome back to Animal Crossing City Folk. Today I don't know what I'm gonna talk about. Cause part of me almost wants to try talking about the TCG I've been working on, mostly in my head, because I've still yet to write any of it down. But I also kind of just want to talk about just general design when it comes to a TCG, because it's something I see a lot of people messing up. Like, even, you know, the main three TCGs like Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, and Yu-Gi-Oh! They all mess it up too. And it's just the simple idea that in TCGs, the more rare a card is, the stronger it has to be. Got some news. Limited time sale. Tomorrow's the flea market. Okay, well, I don't really have anything I want to sell in the flea market, so. But yeah, that practice seems to be common with TCGs, is the rarer a card, the better the card is, to the point where, like, if you watch someone, say, open a pack of cards, they always just skip through all of the commons. Those may as well not even exist to them if they're a competitive player, because they know the commons are, in general, not good cards. Or there will be a better card that's of a higher rarity. That should never be the case. Sure, someone who's opening a lot of your packs should have a lot of your commons. They're what you fill packs with. But, at the same time, they shouldn't be just inherently worse than everything else. Because, I mean, you know, let's just use, because I use Yu-Gi-Oh! A lot, let's use a basic, like, Magic the Gathering concept. You get a 1/1 for 1 common, no effect. Why would you ever use that? Like, what reason do you have to ever use that common? Because there's say, a rare version of a 1/1 for 1, but it has an effect that benefits you in some way. Like, let's say it's a 1/1 for 1 that's got haste. So it doesn't have to deal with summoning sickness. And I also casually have hiccups. But like, that completely negates the point of that other 1/1 for 1 existing. Especially because for the 1 cost slot, there are better options for things. Like, I think it's also even a common, like, in my opinion, say if you're just running a vanilla 1/1 for 1 that has no major synergy with your deck, you're just running it for the 1 cost spell, well, card, well, technically I suppose they're all spells, you may as well just run an Ornithopter. Because it's a 0/2, sure, but it's also a flyer. So it is a 2 health blocker, basically, that can fly, thus meaning it can block anything. Like, that's just inherently better. Because your 1-attack creature, unless it's, you know, massively synergetic with your deck, isn't gonna be worth more than a 2 health blocker of anything, if you're just going for a pure vanilla thing. And you run into the same sorts of things with even, well, Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon. Like, the Pokemon TCG, why would I play, you know, I don't even remember the names of the sets. But, you know, if you look through, like, say, during the black and white cards, if you look through all of the available Sableyes and, you know, all that, there was one Sableye with an effect. It was the Sableye everyone played, because it was the best. It had an effect. It did things for you. I think it also had a way of drawing more cards. Like, draw support is best support. Even in a game like Pokemon, where nearly every card has draw support, more of it is still always better. If you can maintain card advantage and get to your win condition faster, you win faster. That's how TCGs work. It's just a game of getting to your win condition. With Yu-Gi-Oh!, you run into cases like with all the various different pot cards. They either go from incredibly broken to incredibly useless. There really is no in-between, and we should do some fishing in the ocean. Like, there is absolutely no in-between when it comes to the pot cards. And you get the jars, and most of them are useless. No one plays them. Even though they also still draw you cards, their conditions are ridiculous. Because they've, you know... And the ones that people do play are usually the higher rarity ones, which is actually a thing I was getting at with Pokemon as well. The Sableye everyone played was a rarer Sableye. I think it was like a rare or super rare. Something like that. I only ever saw them on the Pokemon TCG Online, so I don't know what rarity they were, because everything looks the same rarity on there. But I know they were a higher rarity. And that is something I'm going to be doing my best to avoid with my TCG, is avoiding the rarity creep. Because I get you need to offer something in the rare cards to make people want them. Like, I get that. But that's where archetypes come in. Like, say, if you're building an archetype, make basically the vanilla, but the vanilla yet still useful monsters or spells or whatever be your commons. Have the support be the, rares to uncommons, that range. And the playmakers, the big explosive playmakers, be the super rares and ultra rares. And ta-da, your card design doesn't need to change to make the super rares and ultra rares better. They're just the cards that let your archetype make its plays. The lower rarity cards are still useful as they assist in getting to the point where you can use the better cards. I mean, let's face it, in most cases, though, rarity on a card is purely just there to make people go, ooh, shiny. Like, humans like shiny things. I like shiny things. I'm almost willing to bet all of you watching like shiny things. Humans like shiny things. So if they make a shiny card, we want that shiny card. It's shiny. Look at it. It's amazing. It's that sort of idea. So honestly, myself, I might do away with rarity per card and just have different quality printings of everything, basically. Well, quote-unquote printings, because I'm probably going to do it digitally. Darn it. Thought that was the fifth bob. I'm getting distracted and not paying attention to fishing. That's how fishing actually works. You just kind of get distracted and ignore your fishing line for a few hours and come back and see that, oh, my bait's gone. Oh, well, whoops. I know a lot of people don't fish like that, but they're boring. They just kind of chill there in silence, because if you talk, you scare away the fish. If you want fish to eat, just go buy it. It takes less time. You fish for fun. At least that's my opinion. Dang it, anytime I've gone fishing, I've been usually pretty far back from the water. At least recently. I say recently. The last recent times I went fishing. because I'm not a fan of water no more. I've never been able to swim, and I had a neighbor trying to teach me how to swim, and I almost drowned, even with a life jacket on. I am not meant to swim. I just sank. I was probably too heavy for the life jacket. But like I was trying, but I just kind of sank and nearly drowned. And I haven't liked water since. Oh, they're both wearing the same shirt now. That's cute. Melee wants something. Hey, this is my good friend Espot. Do I see that you actually have a red snapper, Lumi? That doesn't suit your style, so let me help. My sea bass is a much better fit. Alright, I'll take a loss of like 1,000 bells. And yeah, let's do it quickly so Nana doesn't see that you're ripping me off. Yeah, let's talk with Nana. Oh, hello, Espot. Has it gone to your head yet, Espot? Don't pretend you don't know what I'm talking about. All the bells you've saved, the house. You're a bit of a celebrity in Halifax, our very own wealthy eccentric. I don't mean that in a bad way. We all admire how well you've done for yourself since moving here. Yep, they changed shirts again. It was cute, and now Nana has changed her shirt. And Melee's just like, are you serious? But, yeah, when it comes to, like, the TCG I'm working on in my head, like, everything I'm doing, as much as I did just a few days ago get at, people for just blatantly copying the design and play of Hearthstone, I am in a way going to be just kind of copying how Yu-Gi-Oh! Plays. Because I do like that sort of style of having some monsters that can just be played, and others that need tributes to be summoned. Basically requiring you to use a mix of small and big monsters. Like, I like how that works. But I'm definitely not just gonna be, oh, well, here's the star count on this monster. You need to have a 4-star or lower. Yeah, I'm not just gonna copy absolutely everything about Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm going to be making my own thing. Which is my complaint I had with the just Hearthstone ripoff I saw. Funnily enough, it's also the thing that got me onto this kick of, you know, the whole just rarer cards being better. Because that is like a common thing in the reviews. Is people being like, yeah, like the rarer cards are just the best cards, and if you don't have them, you're probably just gonna lose. Which is something they should have copied from Hearthstone. Because, as I believe I've mentioned before, the starter cards, which are all of middling common quality, hold some of the literal best cards for their classes. Like, for Druid, Wild Growth. That is the advantage card in Hearthstone. It gives you an empty mana crystal, so your turn 3 turns into a turn 4. It basically gives you a 1-turn advantage on your opponent to defeat them before they can reach their turn 10, basically. For the mage, it's Flame Strike. 4 damage to all of your opponent's monsters is nothing to be scoffed at. No, I knew I saw something down here. Flossel! Hopefully I still have room for it. I don't. Darn it. Darn it. I'll be back, you. I'm trying to think of more cards that fit that criteria. I don't really use anyone else. Why did I push that button? Go away, little horse mackerel. You are very cheap and no one likes you. I'm sure a lot of people like you, but you're not worth a lot, so I don't want you with me. And you can be free and go spawn more horse mackerels that all have no value monetarily. And yeah. Oh hey, the Wii's 4 minutes ahead now. I don't know why it's doing that. It's literally 1:56 in real life. It just ticked over to that. I don't get it. The Wii's just gradually becoming more and more off. Let's donate this fossil. Stegotail. Boo. Nope, nothing else. But like with my TCG, as I did mention, I am definitely going to have a system where like, you know, X monster type and lower kind of thing can just be normal summoned. Everything's already kind of set up right here. So to use the Yu-Gi-Oh example, it would be 4-star and lower, only I'm not going to have a star system. I don't know what kind of system I'm going to have, but it won't be a star system. I'm basically just going to be doing my best to make as unique... Well, unique as far as the main TCGs go as possible card game. Because I know I'm never going to be able to make a truly unique card game. Mostly because there's so many indie developers making card games. Because they are, at base level, easy to make. And everyone sees that and goes, yeah, I want to make that. Not realizing the immense amount of balancing that has to go into a card game that just doesn't have to go into a normal game. And it's mostly because every single new card you add to a TCG, you have to stop and consider how it's going to react with every single other card you've made. So as your game progresses and the card pool gets bigger, the more you have to stop and go, okay, will this break anything if I make it?
9, 1, 0, 0, 0.
I'm gonna do that. Hopefully that, yes, okay. I want to have money for turnips. And this is probably not gonna have much in it, because it just cleared out yesterday. Oh, there's one thing. Kitchen sink. Well, someone's thrown out their kitchen sink. But, like, basically, when building a TCG, you need to keep an active power curve. Nothing should be allowed to deviate from that power curve for any reason. Things need to be set to the power curve. If they're not, you're just gonna... Well, you're gonna break everything. I don't know if I watered this today. I always forget if I water the red turnip. It's probably good I double check. Because, well, if I didn't, then it would probably have wilted by now. But I do think that's gonna be... That's gonna be probably it for today here. So, I'd like to remind everyone I do have a Patreon, should you wish to throw money at me. You're by no means inclined to, but if you would, that'd be great. If you don't want to, it's still fine. I don't really care. I'm just glad you're enjoying the content. With that said, thank you all very much for watching, and I hope to see you again next time for more Animal Crossing City Folk. See you all then.